Which do you guys prefer? Fancy new stadiums with jumbotrons, bars, Wi-Fi, distractions, so forth, like the Cowboys, the most modern, or old school like Lambeau, where it's mostly just the game experience of watching the game. The jumbotron is not a big deal. There's not bars and pubs. Your seat is your seat.
So, would you rather go to a Cowboys? Would you rather go see a game at Cowboys Stadium or a game at Packers Stadium?
Which would you rather have as your home stadium for the team you love? An old school venue that they keep in good shape and never change, or every 20 years they fire up a new building?
No, Fritzy's got his hand up quickly.
Yeah, I definitely like the old school tradition. If I was like owning the stadium, I'd want all the bells and whistles. But after seeing it, the Cowboys Stadium, and you go to Fenway and some of the older parks, I think that the charm of especially if it's downtown and you got that old school charm, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, but it's a really fine line between old charm and it'd be kind of nice if we had running water in here. Yes, Seton.
Yeah, I feel like we're sort of mixing old school and classic, which could be very different things. Where it could be, Fenway is the best place to see a baseball game, but that doesn't mean every old stadium is awesome.
Because they keep building them and then tearing them down. They don't last as long as they used to. The Falcons getting a new stadium, you're like, really? Did you need a new stadium here?
But I wonder if NFL owners and franchises want them more than the fans do. Like the Chicago Bears had this great old stadium, and they landed a spaceship on it. Now, that they didn't tear it down, but they made it a disaster.
Yes.
Lambeau has upgraded and kept the tradition of it. If you've been to Lambeau in the past couple of years, they've accentuated the stadium without destroying it.
And that is the key. If you can do it, because Wrigley has been able to do that. Now, people got upset at how they sort of renovated, brought it up to date. You didn't even have replay scoreboards. You couldn't see a monitor there. You had the old school scoreboard there, which is cool. But I think that people have this, I'm going to the game. I need more than just going to watch a game. There has to be an experience here. If I'm paying this money, I want to have an experience here. If you go to Cowboys Stadium, it's an experience. And I would encourage, if you get a chance to go see what that is. Or go to Atlanta and see what that stadium is all about. But also go to the Packers if you get a chance. It should be on your bucket list. Because when you go there, you're going to experience something that you experience no place else. There is charm, there is history there, there's tradition there. But they do have, there's restaurants around there. The tailgating is great around there. It's just they made something work. And I don't know in any other city could you have made it work the way they've made it work in Lambeau. And but you also had to have, I remember being on the field when Green Bay played Seattle in a playoff game, and they had to paint the green on the field. They painted the dirt green. That's not great.
But either is...
And you're sitting on these wooden benches when you're watching the game. That's not great either. You have to upgrade even, this historical, charming building just to make it so it's relevant 21st century. Yeah, Paul.
But then there's antiseptic places. I went to a Houston Texans game. The crowd was nice, but the game was like everything was 72 degrees. It was just very benign. And the Cowboys, it's a terrible place to watch a football game. The Jumbotron is so overwhelming, it takes away from you watching the field.
But you should experience it just so you understand.
For sure.
This is the new age. You got the halo in Atlanta. You got the stadium that opens and closes. It looks like a spaceship here. Well, I don't know how long this stadium lasts. Do they get 30 years out of this? Isn't it amazing you could have some of these stadiums that last over 100 years, and then you get some that can't last more than 25 years? Yeah, Fritzy.
When you make the Jumbotrons that big, where it's like actually distracting and you're finding stuff, you keep looking at the screen and you're at the game and sometimes you rather look at the screen than the actual field. It just enhances the whole experience of why am I even here? I have a big screen at home with a clean bathroom and a stocked fridge. I don't need a giant screen in front of me at the stadium. I got it in the house.
But the number of people who watch the game looking up at the Jumbotron, I would think I would have chiropractors standing by in Dallas. And, like at the end of the first quarter, let me adjust your neck.
Or they could put alternative programming on the Jumbotron in Dallas. Like if the game's not good, you put on a nice movie like Jaws. You know, everyone loves Jaws.
Yes,
But the flip side of that, it's super annoying to go to an old stadium where there's no monitor whatsoever and half of the action is on the other side of the field and you don't know what's going on. I have no idea what just happened in that play.
You need
That's really annoying.
You have to have the combination. You know, Green Bay, they had to upgrade. Wrigley upgraded and kept the charm there. It's a medium-sized jumbotron. Soldier Field is terrible. It is.
That's the nicest thing you could say.
It's terrible what they tried to do. You can upgrade the facilities. I would rather go see a game at Lambeau because it's different, and there aren't many stadiums like that. But I'm factoring in the ambiance, too. The fans make Lambeau the great experience. And that's why if you get a chance, just the fact that you go through this neighborhood and all of a sudden you get at the end of the road and there's Lambeau. Like, there's houses all around. You can park your car in somebody's yard. There's tailgating going on. It's a charming place to go. But, you know, the old Lambeau, that would be tough to go to all the time. Because at some point, you just want it modernized a little bit there, which is what they've done. Cowboys Stadium, it's sterile. That's why I think you have more of a home field advantage at Lambeau than you do at Cowboys Stadium. And you always will, because it's a sterile environment there. It feels like the people have been going to Lambeau for decades. It's in the family. You want your tickets. You understand the value of it. This is really, really, really important to you.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.